Hi, everybody. My name is Katarina with Libelula's Path. I'm an Akashic record reader and energy practitioner, as well as a cosmic channeler, and I'm here to tap in on this month's energy, as well as highlight some portal days and some strong energetic days, such as the new moon and the full moon. So let's get right into it. The full moon is on November 5th, which is in a couple of days. This full moon is full of a lot of potentials, a lot of possibilities are coming through for you. If you feel as if you have been constricted during this time, I do feel a lot of expansion. I do feel a lot of opportunity coming your way. I do feel as if things are really moving in your career, as well as money becoming more. Okay, here's the thing with money that I'm sensing. One thing is, it's one thing to say that there's more money coming in, but there's also the way that you are viewing money is from a more liberatory stance. You are feeling more liberated with your relationship with money. Money is very much highlighted during this time because often it's not how much money you have, it's how much money you perceive you have and how much money you feel you have on an energetic level. And our relationship with money affects everything. You can make multi-million dollar years, but still feel like you don't have enough. The same way where somebody can make 50K a year and feel as if they have everything they need. And it's all about perspective and it's all about the way that you see money and healing your relationship with money. Because money is the relationship with money is you get in what you put in. So whatever you put in energetically is what you get from it. And this goes beyond how hard you work, changing the relationship between the correlation of how hard you work versus how much you earn. And when you start to see that it's not about how hard you work, but it's actually about how you manifest, how you see the blessings coming through and to you every day when you have something that you pay for, blessing it and thanking God and the universe that you have enough to provide for yourself. Everything adds up, meaning every good wish, every good intention, every energetic vibration you have, it positive energetic vibration you have, it all goes into this pot that that creates this large recipe for such abundance. And I hope that that makes sense because what I'm trying to say is all of your positive thoughts, all of your hard work towards the way that you see abundance, the way that you see material possessions and money, it really makes a difference when you work diligently and hard at really changing the perspective you have on money because there is a large narrative in our social construct that we have to work really hard for our money, that we have to complain when we don't feel we have enough money, that we have to let everybody know around us that we just paid this bill or that bill. But really, that is a contradiction of what you truly want because what you truly want is to be in financial flow and financial abundance. And it takes being different, it takes sitting in silence, it takes choosing different for yourself and choosing a different path. And it also takes sometimes separating yourself from those who always have something negative to say about the condition of money or their current perspective of money. And this is truly changing the way that we see the world. And this is also helping us get out of victimhood and helping us get more into mastery, self mastery, feeling like you are the master of your abundance, of your finances, instead of feeling like things are happening to you. So I am such a big advocate on learning to take control in your life where control is allowed and learning to surrender to what you cannot control. And that takes discipline and that takes practice. So, that is truly what's coming in for this full moon on November 5th. And overall, November is such a nutritious month, meaning there's so much nutrients you are gathering from this month, so much coming to you, so much that is warmth and comfort and love. This month is meant to be a recovery month, a month where you are recovering from the things you feel have been drawing your energy, that have been depleting you. And also, something is really large is coming during this month, and that is that things that you feel have been hard to change, that you have been wanting to change in your life, you have a lot of support from your ancestors, you have a lot of support from cosmic beings, you have a lot of energetic support in your life right now to make the changes that you've been wanting to make for a long time, that you have been feeling you've had a lot of trial and error, and there has been times of doubt and sadness and frustration. You have the support right now. So if you feel called to finally do that thing you've been wanting to do for the 10th time, and you won't have as much fear that it's not going to work this time, or you're not going to have as much fear that, or maybe concerned that you're just going to follow the same pattern all over again. So that is what's coming through strongly during this month. There's also emotional alchemy is a theme of this month, meaning how can you not keep the emotions you absorb from others, from your life, from the state of the world? How can you not keep it stuck in your body? And how can you alchemize it by moving your body, by talking about it, by releasing it, by learning to give it to Mother Nature, by learning that you are truly not alone, and it's not for you to see yourself as alone, but instead interconnected to everyone, every being on this planet, every energy on this planet. And there's also this kind of reflection regarding allowing certain levels of negativity into our lives, and our tolerance is lowering for what we allow in our lives, and asking for better, asking for more positivity, asking for there to be an overall positive shift in your life, and releasing and stepping away from those that add to the negativity, or from the environments that add to the negativity. So, November is such a life altering month for those reasons, because there's a lot of growth, there is a lot of progression. And in addition to those pieces, it is in preparation for the new year, for December, which is the wrapping up of the new year, the reflection of the new year. And November is also about coming in true relationship with self, and learning that beyond the relationship you have with everyone else, the most sacred relationship is with self, and knowing thyself, and having the chutzpah, having the discipline to get to know yourself. And getting to know yourself does take discipline, because there is so much stigma around spending time truly alone, spending time no longer asking the outside world for validation, but instead asking yourself and validating yourself, and releasing the need to always need to know something. Because when you learn to to be comfortable feeling uncomfortable about certain things that feel uncertain, you then achieve a certain level of liberation in your life. And that leads me to the 1111 portal. This 1111 portal is a very sacred portal for deep soul retrieval. Soul retrieval is the retrieval of all aspects of the self, feeling as if you are in alignment with what life has to provide you, that you are who you are meant to be, and taking actions and steps and doing things that bring alignment to you, bring soul alignment, bring soul retrieval to your space. And that can also mean saying goodbye to certain habits. That can also mean saying goodbye to certain people and situations. And that can also mean feeling and embodying strength in your life, feeling and embodying confidence, because it does require a certain level of confidence to feel as if you are retrieving aspects of your soul. This also, for those who do past life regression work, this is remembering all of the gifts that you've had in your previous experiences on this earth or other planes and bringing all those gifts back to you. And this is where humanity is heading towards, is this true evolution of the human soul, of us no longer going outside ourselves for happiness, for love, for joy, for comfort, but instead understanding that we are the entire grocery store. We have everything that we need and more. We don't need to go somewhere else to get our groceries, because we know we have 40 aisles of beautiful gifts for us to pick from us to choose from, for us to play with. And that is the true nature of the 1111 portal. And the 1111 portal is a master number, the number of true self mastery and true understanding of spirituality and union. And union is also the understanding that we may not always feel 100% happy, we may not always feel 100% joyful or patient or grounded, but in the imperfection of our emotion, in the imperfection of our reactions and our life, there is perfection, because we can accept ourselves for who we are, and we can love ourselves for who we are, and understand that perfection is not this. If you believe perfection is being hard on yourself or bullying yourself or nitpicking everything you should have done or didn't do, that is what is being called to be dismantled in your life and to bury and walk away from. So that 1111 portal is so powerful, and I recommend doing something along the lines of burning candles with intention, road opening candles, any candles that represent self-love and self-mastery. Also, even doing something like a sacred beverage, like a tea, something, an herb that calls to you during this time, even a cacao ceremony, something that you can put everything aside in your life to truly spend time with yourself and your sacredness and truly embody the soul that you are. And this also brings me to then the new moon on November 20th, and that is about 9 days after the 1111 portal. And we, around this time, Mercury is entering retrograde. And boy, this is quite a active new moon, because there are things that truly need to die in your life. And yes, the word die can feel strong, but death is sacred and death is medicine in certain ways, because when we learn that death is simply just transition, we are able to understand that death is always a part of life. The death of something you thought you were, somebody you thought you were, the death of a relationship, the death of beating yourself up all of the time, the death of overwork. These are all cycles. It's just the cycle of life. And there's something that will come to lay to rest at this time, that will be buried, and that may feel very active and sticky and hard, but I really invite you to honor those dense emotions and honor the path of your soul, because we never quite know where we are going to be, where we may have an idea of what we want out of our lives, but we truly never know what the next step is until it unfolds. And just being curious about what is it that's going to come to fruition and what is going to come to an end at this time. And practicing acceptance of impatience. If you feel you become impatient around this time, around the November 20th date, giving yourself grace, being very kind, being very understanding with your emotions and the density, and maybe you feel you're going feeling very high and very low, very sad, very happy, going through and oscillating through all these spectrum of emotions and just dancing through them. And I invite you to move your body during this time and just let yourself feel and let those emotions move through you, even getting energy work done during this time, or doing energy work on yourself, or getting a reading, or giving yourself a reading, really tapping in and seeing how you can maximize the nutrients of the lesson. During this month, I also recommend trying to set up a semi-structured sleep schedule, because sleep will be very supportive with all of the change happening this month. And because we are deep into fall, there is that bear medicine, the hibernation medicine of sleep and of rest. And also balancing that out with movement and not staying too stagnant. Also, doing something that you like, that will encourage you to move. And also with any additional nutrients we can add into our diet. I do see, oh, one thing before I get into that. So there's something I want to recommend for cleansing during this time, and that is burning bay leaves. Burning bay leaves is an ancient practice of cleansing, letting go, and also calling in any prosperity. And prosperity is not just material wealth, but prosperity is prosperity of love, prosperity of relationships, prosperity of happiness and joy. Burning bay leaves regularly during the month of November would be very beneficial. Also, I do invite you all to definitely drink more warm beverages and drink whatever you feel called to drink in terms of certain teas that call to you. Also, cinnamon, drinking cinnamon tea and adding more cinnamon into your drinks or into your food would really kickstart the prana in your body, which is just our life force, and also will help activate and regulate our blood sugar levels, which can sometimes even get dysregulated with emotions, with meaning extreme emotions or stress. And also during this time overall, when you are eating and sitting down with eating, making every meal a ceremony, because that is also the calling in of being in honor of the cycles of life, of truly sitting down and being present with your food, looking at your food, blessing your food, feeling the nutrients and the deliciousness of the food, and truly enjoying that moment that you have to rest and to replenish. And also, in terms of crystal therapy, crystal work, I do recommend 3 crystals. One of the crystals that I recommend is moss agate. Moss agate, I have recommended on a certain month before, but it's coming through very strongly, offering a lot of Mother Earth medicine, grounding medicine. I also recommend working with Apache Tears. Apache Tears helps us work through our grief, work through things we cannot change, things that we simply must accept. The third crystal that I recommend to work with during this time is Petersite. Petersite is the calling in a balance of the mother and the father, the masculine and the feminine. And also, Petersite works with the sacred heart chakra and our leadership role, how we identify with leadership, and helping us explore how we can be trailblazers in our own life. And that is all for this month's reading. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, and I invite you all to continue to watch out for my videos on Instagram and TikTok. And I really appreciate you spending the time to tap in, rest, and learn. Thank you.